The time is 10 o'clock, and this is WKYT Midmorning. Crews have recovered the body of a Kentucky man swept away by floodwaters.
We're on the road ahead of Hillary Clinton's only scheduled campaign stop today in Kentucky.
And funeral arrangements have now been announced for a former UK basketball player.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning. We hope you had a fantastic weekend and you're ready to go. Here we are in May now.
Derby week.
You got that right.
Ready
exactly.
to go.
Bill Bryan and Barbara Bailey here for WKYT. We're tracking chances of more rain today. That could lead to some localized flooding. Not everybody will get it.
This is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. We lead off with meteorologist Micah Harris, who's tracking the threat for us. Micah?
Yeah, you got to keep this in mind. This is very localized, meaning this is not widespread. Not everybody will see this today. And our main concern, south and southeast. That's your best bet. Go down toward the Howard Rogers Parkway. So 40% of our viewing area will be affected. The other 60%, there's nothing going on. It actually looks pretty good for today with temperatures there in the mid-60s right now. We'll finish off in the lower 70s once we approach the rest of the afternoon. Where you see, if we drew an imaginary line, it would stretch from Martin County, Lawrence County, go right down towards, say, London and Corbin and Laurel County, and then back down toward Wayne County. That's exactly where we could see those showers and thunderstorms spark up as we head throughout your afternoon. Already seeing a couple of isolated showers right now. Live sky camera, there's your shot around here in Lexington. It's a beautiful day here in Lexington, 72 degrees. But we're all keeping an eye out on the southeast. Reason being, flooding is going to be our main concern. And I'm going to go over that forecast coming to you in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you. And new on WKYT Midmorning, we've learned that a man who was swept away by floodwaters last night in Owen County has been found dead.
Family members say he was found a couple of miles from his home on Highway 368 in Owenton. A creek near the home jumped its banks from all the rain. One woman at the scene said she tried to throw the man a life jacket, but the current was too strong. She was almost swept away as well, but was able to grab and hold onto a tree. 3 other people in the area who were trapped on a porch had to be rescued. We're in Owen County this morning tracking down new details, and we'll have a full report on WKYT News at noon.
Parts of eastern Kentucky are also underwater this morning. Many creeks and streams swelled, flooding out some of the roads there. A man in Breathitt County says he cannot leave his home right now because it's surrounded by water. And it's a similar scene in Floyd County. Roads underwater, homes being threatened by rising waters. It's those areas that could see that additional rain, and we have those flooding concerns out there today. In Carter County, a man thinks a tornado is to blame for destroying his home. He says he was using the bathroom when the walls of his trailer caved in. Winds ripped the home apart in Grayson. He was able to escape from the rubble and grab a few things, but he says most of what he owned has been destroyed. Remember, you can track the rain and the storms by downloading the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Other news now, the 2016 presidential contenders are making a final campaign push in Indiana, which holds its critical primary tomorrow. 92
delegates are at stake for Democrats, 57 delegates on the line for Republicans. Hannah Daniels has the latest now on campaign 2016.
Donald Trump continues to paint himself as the eventual GOP nominee, mocking his rival's chances at a campaign event in Indiana Sunday night.
You look at these guys that I'm running against now, they're hanging by their fingernails. They're just like barely hanging on.
A Trump win here would put him even closer to clinching the Republican nomination ahead of the summer convention. Trailing Trump by 15 points in the state, rival Ted Cruz is counting on Indiana voters to stop that from happening.
I believe in the men and women gathered here that we will not give in to evil.
Eyeing the general election, Hillary Clinton courted African Americans at an NAACP dinner in Detroit yesterday.
It's about unity versus division, compassion versus selfishness, and love versus hate.
Clinton is 90% on the way to clinching her party's nomination, but faces a bitter fight in Indiana against rival Bernie Sanders.
Looks to me like we're going to win here on Tuesday.
Polls indicate the Vermont senator is within striking distance of winning the Democratic primary in Indiana tomorrow. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Now, Hillary Clinton will campaign today in Kentucky. Her one stop in the Commonwealth will be in Ashland. The former First Lady plans to explain to voters how she would try to raise incomes for people who've been hit hard by the decline of the coal industry. And she's also getting some help from her husband. Former President Bill Clinton will be making 3 stops in Kentucky tomorrow, including a stop in Lexington.
Clinton's pitch to voters comes 15 days before she takes on Senator Bernie Sanders in Kentucky's Democratic primary. And Sanders will also make a stop in the Commonwealth. That will be tomorrow. Senator Sanders will be at a rally tomorrow afternoon in Louisville. The event at Waterfront Park is free and is open to the public. Kentucky's primary coming up on May 17th. Here are some details about the Kentucky primary. It is a primary for both Republicans and Democrats, but you'll recall Republicans don't have a presidential primary on the ballot because that party already had a caucus earlier this year. Both parties will decide their candidates for the upcoming U.S. Senate race and in each of the 6 House congressional districts. There also are a limited number of state legislative races and some local races that will be on the line in that primary.
Funeral arrangements have been announced for former University of Kentucky basketball player Ed Davender. He died last week, 2 days after having a massive heart attack. Davender played for UK for 4 years in the mid and late 1980s. He is 11th on Kentucky's all-time scoring list. The Herald-Leader reports that Davender's funeral will be Thursday at 1 o'clock at First Baptist Church, Bracktown. 2 more teenagers are now charged in the murder of a Mercer County teenager.
We just want justice for Tristan. That's what we want. You know, we want the people guilty punished.
17-year-old Tristan Cole was found shot to death last month. Deputies have charged a classmate with his murder. Over the weekend, 18-year-olds Zachary Lay and Megan Sims were also arrested. Police say they helped the killer sell the gun used in Tristan's murder.
New on WKYT Midmorning, 1 person was killed in a weekend crash in Russell County. State police say the Saturday night crash was on Kentucky 76 south of Russell Springs. 35-year-old Pedro Zuniga was in a 1995 Jeep when he crashed. Police say Zuniga was thrown from the Jeep and it landed on top of him.
A head-on crash in Rowan County killed a recent Morehead State University graduate. The coroner says 23-year-old Sarah Caudle died in the crash on Kentucky 32. Caudle's friends say she was in town for the annual MSU Gala. 2 people in the car she hit were injured. This morning, we don't know how they're doing.
It is Derby week in the Commonwealth, and there are lots of events that are going on off the track leading up to the big Run for the Roses. On the track, Nyquist is looking strong. The Kentucky-bred 3-year-old colt is undefeated. He spent a few weeks at Keeneland before making the trip over to Churchill over the weekend. Nyquist is expected to head into the Kentucky Derby as the favorite. Well, just announced this morning the Dixie Chicks are coming to Kentucky.
The band is adding more concerts to its U.S. tour that starts this summer. The new stops include Louisville. The Grammy-winning country group starts the tour June 1st in Cincinnati. Tickets for the new dates will go on sale May 7th. We'll keep it right here this mid-morning. Souped-up lawnmowers are the race car of choice in the UK.
Looks pretty wild. We'll have a look at the unusual race that will mow you away coming up after Micah's weather.
Another stormy day for some. It's not for everybody. I'm going to show you where we can expect some flooding concerns and who's going to be seeing rain today coming up next. Already seeing a couple of showers pop up down toward the far south and southeastern areas. Nothing really surprising about that. I will say this, you got to look back toward Bowling Green because now you're getting some showers and thunderstorms sparking up there, and it looks like that's going to edge its way toward the east and northeast as we go throughout the day. Right now it looks really good. However, here in Lexington, it's not a great chance of rain. I'd say 30–40% that we actually see a few rumbles of thunder because that front's not fully through just yet. So central zones, you're talking 30–40%, but if you go down toward the southeast, it's a 100% chance that you see rain. Everybody's southeastern areas will see some rain today, but as of right now, it looks pretty good. Let's go hour by hour, get you into your afternoon. In afternoon, that's when we see the best opportunity to actually pick up on some of those storms. And they'll roll on through, and you know, some of them will be pretty strong down toward the southeast, and that's what we're going to be watching for, is that southeastern area, because that's where we could have not only strong storms, but an isolated chance, very small chance that we see an isolated severe cell in that area. As for bluegrass northbound, I don't see a chance at all for severe weather. Mainly just a few showers, mainly a couple of rumbles of thunder, if that. Remember, it's 30–40%. The farther north you go, better likelihood of staying dry. Frankfurt, it's more of a 10 to 30% chance of rain, so it's not really that good. Here's the breakdown for that, okay? Let's talk about your southeast first. Virtually everybody sees rain down toward the southeast. The farther north you are, we'll drop the chances of rain, but still is a pretty decent chance. If you go down towards, say, Rockcastle County, you're talking about a 60% chance of rain. Richmond's more of 40 to 50. Lexington more of 30 to 40. Frankfurt, you're more of that 10 to 20%. So you get the drift. You go far toward the north, and it's not a great chance of rain, but far towards the south and southeast, that's where we're going to have more storms, and that's where we could have flooding concerns too. So that's our main threat for today, is going to be flooding. Can't rule out a stray cell down into the mountains that you could get some strong winds or maybe even some isolated hail, but for the most part, it's going to be flooding that we need to watch very closely, as there is a flood watch in effect through tomorrow morning. So that's something to really keep an eye out on. But once again, guys, around here in the bluegrass is more of the 30–40%, not a great chance. But you go far into the southeastern areas, the mountains, that's about 100% chance of rain. I mean, virtually everybody will see rain. And you got to watch that closely, because we had flood problems yesterday. I believe we'll have them again today, especially the farther east and southeast you go.
You really feel that instability. I mean, it's, you know, it's sunny and it's nice, but you can tell, something could give.
That's
All
right.
right. Thank you.
Well, it's a race that is guaranteed to mow you down.
All right, take a look here. The lawnmower racing season kicked off over the weekend in Great Britain. Brits can ride their John Deeres in cross-country endurance contests. There's a Grand Prix, even a World Championship. We checked around, by the way. There is an official lawnmower racing association here in the U.S. If you're interested, the closest club is in Ashland. But
Really?
Yeah, but over in southeastern Kentucky, they have also some races around the 4th of July. So
I don't know.
we have some of that here, too.
A little dangerous. Make
Can
sure you
be.
do it on a track, not on your
Right.
yard.
You got it.
Well, Disney's The Jungle Book beats back the competition at the box office, and President Obama gets the last laugh.
Terry Okita has your eye on entertainment.
Celebrities, journalists, and politicians got all glammed up for the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C. this weekend. President Obama took a jab at one of his potential successors in his final performance as comedian-in-chief.
If this material works well, I'm going to use it at Goldman Sachs next year.
Larry Wilmore, host of The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, was the featured entertainer.
Everybody hates Ted Cruz. Even O.J. Simpson said, that guy's just hard to like.
Disney's The Jungle Book crushed newcomers at the box office with more than $42 million in ticket sales in its third week.
Meet Keanu.
Sketch comics Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele's action film Keanu took in $9.4 million.
Happy
Mother's Day, starring Julia Roberts and Jennifer Aniston, limped its way to $8.3 million in sales.
They're coming back.
And the buzz is building for Independence Day Resurgence. In the sequel, Celia Ward plays the new president who is dealing with another alien invasion.
I get to have this female Clint Eastwood moment with the queen bee alien. It is so cool.
Independence Day Resurgence arrives in theaters next month. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Terry Okita, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, a lot of folks waiting for that Captain America release later this week.
Should be a big one.
Right. Good to have you with us. It's Derby week, and for the ladies, that means expressing your inner Southern belle when it comes to your outfit.
Bella Rose is here with some advice on what to wear to the track. Next on WKYT.
Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $128 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, $348 million. We're coming right back on Mid-Morning. Welcome back in. We are getting our models in place here. They'll get there just right at the nick of time.
Yes.
It is an exciting week at the Bluegrass as the Kentucky Derby is now just 5 days away.
One of the big questions every year is what to wear. We're joined by Betty Spain, owner of Bella Rose, along with 3 beautiful models who are going to show off some great options for us. Welcome, Betty. Glad to have you in here.
It's so good to be here.
You always have the right answer for this.
I do?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Always.
That's what they
you can
say.
always help people find the right dress.
So what is in for this year?
Well, Bill, color is just, I mean, take a look at the models. There's whatever your favorite color is, there's an abundance of it. And then an awesome hat or fascinator to go with.
Oh, no kidding. Those look great. Now, do you actually have the hats and the accessories and everything at the store?
We do. We have a hat designer, Head Candy, Brittany, that comes in. We started hats in February. When we go to market, we are thinking ahead, of course, to accessorize all the handbags, the jewelry.
Well, tell us a little bit more about these specific dresses. I love the ones you brought in.
Describe each one, if you will, here for us.
Okay, Carol on the right has on a Terry John. I call it the Audrey Hepburn. It has pockets. It's such a simple silhouette. It will definitely show up in the winner's circle. It's such a visual treat.
And you know, you also could wear that to Mother's Day.
Mother's Day brunch, the governor's breakfast, I guess. Yes.
Yeah, so you could get a lot of great wears out of that dress.
Good.
It's
All
so
right.
beautiful.
And who's going to step up next for us here?
And Stacy has on a Nicole Miller asymmetrical neckline. It's a linen and cotton, so you're not going to wrinkle all day. And that dress can go as well everywhere, a cocktail party. It's such a beautiful Kelly green.
Love
Nicole
that color.
Miller.
And then
And then
what about
Laura has on a Nicole Miller as well with a Birds of Paradise, and look at that fascinator. Now that is a bird of paradise.
Speaking of birds.
It is absolutely perfect.
They certainly look great. So the idea here is that this is something, again, it's for a special event, but at the same time, you'll probably find other occasions.
They're very wearable.
Yeah.
A patio, dinner on a patio, you name it, it's going to be fitting.
But even though we are counting down to the week, it's right here. It's not too late, though, to come
absolutely
in
not.
and find the right thing.
Absolutely not. We've gotten in shipments every day. We got in new hats on Thursday. And looks like the weather's going to be a little chillish for Oaks, so we've got a little bit of coverage. It's not going to interfere with your perfect derby outfit.
When people come in to ask you what they should wear and so forth, what's the first thing you ask them?
I ask them if they have their shoes, if they want to, women like to start sometimes from the feet up, or if they have their hat, and then most people are starting from scratch, which makes it really easy. And then they have a hard time deciding which is going to be the winning look for the day.
Pull it all together. Thank you very much. Bella Rose located, if people haven't been there.
126 West Maxwell Street. This is the 142nd Derby, but this is Bella Rose's 36th. So
I thought, wow.
Perfect.
Such a blessing.
Congratulations for all those years.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, and thanks to our models over here
They
as well.
look beautiful.
Well, keep it right here on Mid-Morning.
In just a moment, we'll check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen and see what's cooking up on this Monday of Derby Week.
We're glad you're with us today. Recreate an entree that's restaurant fancy in your own kitchen.
Well, that sounds good. Today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, it's bacon-wrapped pork fillets.
How many times have you seen an entree on a restaurant menu and wondered if you could make it at home? Here in the Test Kitchen, we love challenges like that. And we recently came up with a restaurant favorite that's at home easy. Let me show you. We begin by cooking a few strips of bacon just to the point where they start to brown, but they aren't crispy. After they cool enough to work with, we wrap a couple slices around a few boneless pork chops and secure them with a couple of toothpicks. Once the chops are wrapped in bacon, we season them with a little salt and pepper. Now in the same skillet that we browned the bacon, we saute them until both sides are nice and brown. When they're cooked to your liking, we take them out and whip up a quick sauce by deglazing the pan with a combo of beef broth and instant coffee. Just imagine how happy your taste buds will be when you drizzle this over the chops. Between the bacon flavor and the super tender pork, you can't go wrong. So don't wait another minute. Go online and get the recipe for our bacon-wrapped pork fillets so you can cook up a restaurant-worthy dish without leaving the house. Plus, there's no tipping required. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a tasty money-saving way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Looks pretty good.
You know meat, I'm always okay.
You're all
right with that.
Absolutely, and that looked pretty good. Okay, let's check out the forecast for today. Remember, around here in the bluegrass, we're right around 30–40%, so there is a rain chance, but not a great chance. The greatest chance is going to be down toward the south and east. That's the farther southeast you go, better likelihood of actually seeing some of those thunderstorms roll on through. And that, guys, will be the spot we need to be watching very closely, because that's where we could have, with those thunderstorms, the heavier downpours, that's where we could have some flooding concerns. Now, this isn't a major flooding threat, but it's still some isolated spots. Could have some water there on the roadways, and those creeks and streams will continue to rise as long as we continue to have these thunderstorms in here. So that's something to watch out for. After that, it gets much cooler, and as we approach the Derby weekend, it looks much better. Much better.
That's good.
Nobody
so
can
it'll all
complain
work out
about
in the
that.
long run.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us for WKYT at Mid-Morning. Our news team very busy now getting ready for WKYT News at noon.
The Bold and the Beautiful next on CBS. We'll see you back here at noon.